The A's left Southern California on a high note Wednesday. The green and gold's offense broke out, rattling off 16 runs on 21 hits in a rout of the Dodgers. Tonight, the Athletics travel north to the beautiful city of Seattle to face another AL West foe, the Mariners. This offseason, Seattle added to its already cold lineup, and as always, will be a tough challenge for Bob Melvin and the boys. Game 1 of 3, A's, Mariners, next. Well, the final stop for the A's on this trip is Seattle, Washington, Safeco Field, home of the Mariners. It's the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. So the A's split the two-game series at Dodger Stadium, but the best news coming out of that was Chris Davis. It looks like he may be heating up, Ray.
First hit of the game for Chris Davis. He got 3, but the big one was to right center, a home run. This is Chris Davis at his best, because last year, very rarely did he pull the ball into the seats, but on that particular Wednesday night, he got the big home run, pulled the hips open, hit a ball down the left field line for a double, and even better than that, a hard single his last time up. So a great job for Chris Davis. The Athletics did a great job all around, but if KD goes, so go the Athletics, and he's swinging the bat well.
Seattle Mariners are off to a 6-4 start. They're missing some of their big bats in their lineup, so Ray, they're relying on Robinson Cano, and he's off to a great start.
He's hitting .406. Coincidentally, the last time a player hit .406 was Ted Williams in 1941. This guy could do it. He might be able to hit .400 because Robinson Cano uses the whole field better than anybody probably in baseball. He's a great hitter. He's a consummate second baseman. He knows how to play. He's a tremendous leader in this ball club. He does not have a home run, but that doesn't mean anything because he can drive in runs using the whole field, and he's one of the better players in the game.
All right, pitching matchup tonight, a couple of right-handers, Andrew Triggs against Mike Leake. It is game 1 of the 3-game series here at Safeco Field. Up next, we will check in with the A's pregame live studios, and that back to a cool Seattle for game 1 of the series.
Today, Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack. Part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
Welcome back to Safeco Field here in Seattle. It is raining outside, but we are going to call it, Ray, the retractable umbrella is saving us tonight.
That's a good one. I like that.
So here come the Seattle Mariners, led by their starting pitcher tonight, Mike Leake. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. It's 51 degrees. It is cold, folks. It's breezy, and it is pouring outside, and we can see that with the openings out in left field and in right field just a little bit. But again, the umbrella is covering us right now, so we should be okay. But it's a chilly night. Starting lineup for the A's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Joyce, Simeon, Lowry, Davis, Olson, Chapman, Lucroy, Piscotty, and Smolinski. Look at Lucroy and his numbers against Mike Leake. 19 for 38.
Mike Leake made his first start for the Mariners against the Athletics. That was back on September the 1st. He had just been acquired, and he pitched well. And to my partner's exact words, he works fast. He gets the ball. He's got a lot of different pitches, but the main thing about him, he gets the ball. He's ready to go. Probably the only problem for him, he does not get to hit. He's a pretty good hitter. Good hitter, but in American League, they have the DH, but fastball, upper 80s, low 90s, but other than that, he just gets it and throws it.
Starting defense for Seattle, Ichiro Suzuki is in left, D. Gordon in center, Mitch Haniger is in right, Seager, Segura, Cano, and Andrew Romine is at first. Mike Margema is the catcher. So the throw goes down to second base, and we are set for baseball. Friday night crowd still filing in. As we said, it says 51 degrees, but it feels a little bit colder than that. It's very damp, wet, cold, and it's going to be that way all weekend long. And sounds like it's been this way for about 2 weeks here.
And it's going to continue even after the A's leave. But you're right, Cap. Looking out beyond left field, which this is I think that's a great description, like an umbrella over the field, which means that you're going to play baseball. But outside, the elements are there. But
you can hear it. It is raining very hard.
Rains hard.
That's the giveaway tonight. Ben Gamble, who's not active, he's on the disabled list, but he has very long hair, and it's the Ben Gamble hat giveaway tonight. First pitch of the game from Mike Leake to Matt Joyce is a little bit low, so we're underway. Joyce, Simeon, and Lowry, first three in the A's order. And there's a line drive right field, and that's a base hit.
Got one thing about a pitcher who works quickly, and it means that he really doesn't mess around. And I've caught pitchers that would shake off breaking balls because they simply said it takes too much time. Well, we'll see what happens with Mike Leake. But here's your basic pitch that started inside, ends up down the middle of the plate. And Matt Joyce, second pitch of the game, and a line drive, even with a shift a little bit to the outfield by Robinson Cano. But Matt Joyce, nice way to start the game.
So leadoff man on, here's Simeon. Simeon goes after the first pitch. But when you watch Mike Leake pitch, and we joke, he does work very fast. And we do like that from a pitcher, but he's not overthinking anything.
Nope.
I think he's got an idea what he wants to throw, and let's go.
He's really got 2 and 4 seam fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, changeup, and it's rapid fire. And really, everybody, I don't know anybody in this park does not like the fact that he does work quickly.
Toward right, Haniger backs up over a little bit, and he's got it. So that's out number 1 here in the first inning. So the pitch usage for the right-hander Mike Leake looks like this. Fastballs, cutters, that's a lot.
Now, when you see the fastball and the cutter, essentially that's the same pitch. The cutter is just a little bit of a variation, but that's 66% of the time. The changeup, the curve, the slider, the two-seamer, the one that he tried to throw to Matt Joyce that came back and had too much of the plate. But that's a pitch that he likes to throw against the lefties, bring it back over the corner of the plate, not necessarily in the middle.
There's Lowry who rolls it foul. Leake, it's been an interesting maybe 3 years. Remember, he's with Cincinnati for a long time. Went to the Giants for a short period of time. Was a free agent after that. He signed a big contract with the St. Louis Cardinals. A year and a half into that contract, which was last year, the Cardinals traded him here. So he is in the 3rd year of a very lucrative 5-year, $80 million contract. So you just don't see guys get traded the second year of a 5-year contract very often, but that's what happened with Mike Leake.
Matt Joyce guarding a little bit, maybe as he tried to get back to the bag. Fortunately, made it safely. A very close play, but Matt Joyce maybe slipped as he planted his right foot to try to get back into the bag, diving head first. They're going to take a look at it. I guess that's why they're holding up play. I guess if really somebody, maybe the great Juan Dorado, can put his stopwatch on every time there's a potential challenge and see how much that time it takes. Juan, you could do that along with your other duties.
That one chopped towards second. Cano fires towards second, and they get the lead out. Cano charged that one. Maybe a little bit more of a difficult throw than it looked, because he was almost in line with the base path.
Well, that's why I thought, because it was hit slowly, but Romine, a good job. He goes after the ball. Watch this. Then he stops, goes back to first base, and the throw to second. And you're right, a little bit of an angle for Roberts and Cano. But by turning, he kind of threw into the runner. Could have very easily hit Matt Joyce.
I think it almost did.
In the helmet, and, you know, who knows where it would have gone from that point.
So fielder's choice. 2 outs. Here's Chris Davis. We talked about Davis in the open of our show and the good series he had at Dodger Stadium. 5 for 10. A homer, a double, a couple of RBIs, and a couple of runs scored. So that was very nice to see if you're an A's fan, to see Chris Davis hitting the ball with some authority.
Well, I think, well, look at the Mariners outfield. Talk about bunching towards the middle. See the left fielder Ichiro way off the line. Same in right field with Haniger. So they're kind of bunching towards the gaps, left center, right center.
You know, it's interesting. We've seen Chris Davis. This is our 3rd year now, and he does not hit a lot of balls down the left field line, direct pull, because he's not really a pull hitter.
He did against Wood, but that was a ball inside.
Inside, yeah.
That was a lefty with a breaking ball coming in, but you're correct about a right-handed pitcher. He's probably going to go more to the opposite fielder up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, he's really gapped to straightaway center field guy, so not surprised that Ichiro's well off the line and left. And he may hook a ball down there once in a while, but it just does not happen a lot.
And you know, if he happened to do it right now, see how far Ichiro, that's probably as far. It's almost like at Houston where they're playing because a ball down the line, or maybe at Fenway Park. But if he hooks the ball down the corner, run's going to score from first base.
Right center, Gordon back, and that baby's gone. 2-0 A's.
Can't bunch him that way. KD is hot. Chris Davis is hot. Off day yesterday, does not matter. It comes right back, and here's the pitch. Comes right back in the wheelhouse, but see him open. Watch the left foot. He opens up, but it's tremendous power to hitting the ball to right center. Look where the center fielder's playing. Look where this ball goes. It's just slicing, tremendous power. And when he does that, you can't bunch him enough unless you're sitting in the seats.
So how does a hitter open up but not pull off the ball?
How about that?
That's really almost impossible to do, but that's what Chris Davis does.
He does it.
Opens up but doesn't pull off the ball. I'm going to let you try to explain that when we come back, because it may take a little while. Good look at the home run. Chris Davis, his 3rd of the year. He now has 9 RBIs, and the A's have an early 2-0 lead. For the Mariners, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Gordon, Segura, Cano, Haniger, Seager, Vogelbach, Marjima, Suzuki, Romine.
Andrew Triggs coming off of one of his better starts, really, as an Oakland Athletic. That was against the Angels, picked up the win and pitched extremely well. You look at his strikeouts, 13 strikeouts, just 4 walks. Keep D. Gordon off the bases.
Please.
Yes. He is the difference maker on this club.
He's off to a great start his first year with the Mariners, sitting on a 10-game hitting streak, so he has hit safely in every game. Doing exactly what the Mariners want him to do. Umpires for tonight. It's Carlos Torres calling balls and strikes. Kerwin Danley at first, Paul Noward at second, Scott Berry is at third. Kerwin Danley is the crew chief. If there's a review, they'll put the headset on.
Okay, we talked about the defense alignment for Chris Davis for the Athletics against D. Gordon, who uses the whole field. That's the straight up defense, and slightly to the left field, in the outfield, slightly to pull on the infield, but pretty much straight up defense that you'd like to see against somebody who does use the whole field the way Gordon does.
Swing and a miss. Gordon chased a little bit, and that's the first out. A's defense tonight has Joyce, Smolinski, and Piscotty in the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olson on the infield, and Lucroy is the catcher.
You're right about the numbers. Lucroy has faced Leake probably more than, well, he has more than anybody with the A's, obviously, because he was in the National League with the Brewers when Leake pitched for teams in the National League. Because one of the things about the Mariners, this is just their 11th game, a lot of off days. And this is also the first game for the Mariners playing a team in the Western Division. They started back, well, they started here, then went to San Francisco, went back, what, Minnesota, New York. I mean, so they've played some games, but none against teams from the West. Scott Service, their manager, came over when Jerry DiPoto was named the general manager, brought him over as the manager.
Yeah, Cleveland, San Francisco, Minnesota, Kansas City.
Yeah.
That's the teams that they have played. That's interesting.
But
well,
you know, there's your 15 teams, 5 in each division, but it's just unusual that if you're in the Western Division, you're going to face the 4 other teams in the division 76 times. Yet you're not playing your first game until game number 11. That seems a little bit strange. I guess with the interleague and with everything going on, the number of teams in the division, each league.
Up the middle, and it's going to get through for a base hit. So Gene Segura, who's kind of a hit machine.
Yes, he is.
Rolls one into center field, so that's the first hit for the Mariners. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
Andrew Triggs might not have thrown that ball 95, but he probably thought it came at him at 110. Because when a pitcher has a ball back up the middle, fortunately that was on the ground from his standpoint, but it went right between his legs into center field. But Segura, you're right, is a very good hitter, as well as this gentleman stepping to the plate now.
That would be Robinson Cano, hitting .406 with 4 RBIs. 4 doubles for Cano, part of his 13 hits. Mariners lineup a little different right now. Nelson Cruz still on the disabled list. Possible we may see him this weekend. He's got a bad ankle. Ryan Healy's got a bad ankle. He just injured that, I think it was last Saturday, so he's on the disabled list, so we will not see Ryan Healy.
Yeah, Healy got his first hit of the season, all happy, goes in to work out, DL.
Ben Gamel's been out all year. He's got an oblique, but Gamel could possibly come back this weekend. And Mike Zunino, the catcher, has an oblique. Yeah,
he said he's close, and I thought maybe he would be back this weekend, but
that's a base hit to right field. Segura around second. He's going to try for third, and he's going to make it. So Cano rolls a single into right field, first and third.
Well, that's the hole between first and second that all left-handed hitters love. And for Robinson Cano, you can see where Lucroy had set up outside, had to reach back. That's not a good sign, because if he had thrown the ball where Lucroy wanted it, might have been a 4-6-3 double play. Instead, it's the inner half of the plate, and smart base running by Segura to get to third base, especially when the ball leaves the bat on the ground. You don't have to really worry about the outfielder throwing a guy out going from first to third.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. And here's Mitch Haniger. And this is the spot where Nelson Cruz usually sits in this lineup. So the Mariners are missing 4 regulars. Zunino the catcher, Cruz the DH, Healy the first baseman, and Gamble the left fielder.
Sorry to mention, Nelson Cruz actually told Scott Service today, he said, "I'm ready." And Scott Service said, "We'll take another day or so."
Yeah, he took a lot of batting practice before the game. So it's possible, Ray, we could see Cruz and Gamble tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know, like you said, Zunino's close.
Yeah, so. Zunino said he hadn't eaten enough Italian food to get a little cushion on the oblique.
Smart man. Smart man. So it could be a different looking lineup tomorrow night for the Mariners. Outside now 3-0. On deck is Kyle Seager.
The thing that the Mariners are happy about, missing everybody that you mentioned, but yet starting the season 6-4. Yeah. And they're extremely happy. Seager's off to a good start. Nothing else, just trying to keep up with his brother, Corey, who Hayes just saw in Los Angeles, shortstop for the Dodgers.
Pitch right on the outside corner.
Yeah, the one thing about Andrew Triggs, he's facing right-hander Haniger. He's got Segura. He's got, of this 9 hitters, 6 lefties. Against the Angels, 7 right-handers. Only 2 lefties. So it is a different setup. Scott Iverson, the A's pitching coach, talked about the change-up that he's trying to develop and throw effectively. But still, the sweeping slider that he throws to the right-handers is his most effective pitch.
And you saw it there, Haniger. It looked like a strike for quite a while. Then it dove out of the strike zone. Haniger swung at it anyways and just got a piece of it.
Yeah, it starts and right there looks good and then just keeps going. Now the one thing about Cano, he's got speed, but he doesn't run fast. I don't know how you really look at that. So you got to strike him out, maybe a throw him out, but you have to be concerned about Segura at third if he does go. He's not.
And that one runs in on Haniger and he fouls it.
It's the case for Scott Service, at least on that pitch, maybe thinking rather take the chance of, even if, well, the A's are hoping Haniger hits into a double play, but he probably doesn't want to take the bat out of Seager's hand, who's in the on deck circle, since he's as hot as he is.
Cano not running, and the ball's hit into left field, and that's a base hit. So Segura trots home 3 consecutive hits for the Mariners off Triggs, and now it's 2-1.
And there's that old thing about a ground ball pitcher. He gets a strikeout with Gordon, 3 ground balls, but all 3 going to the outfield. This one, he's really getting too much of the plate. Leaving the ball in the middle of the plate. He does it here. He did it with Cano on his base hit, and obviously with 2 strikes on Segura, did it to him. And also, Kite, an extra day may be just enough. Extra days rest, you know, with your off day, you got 2 off days, and you know, he pitched very effectively Saturday. This is Friday.
It's a long time.
It's a long time to pitch, and you know, maybe just enough to be out of whack a little bit in the first inning.
So here is Seager, 2-11, a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs for Seager. Always a tough out. Way inside.
The crossfire, he's outside, the pitch is inside. He had to reach back, and that is not what you want as a catcher, to see your pitcher making that many pitches and also that far off the plate.
Driven to right, Piscotty over, it's over his head. One hops the wall. Cano will score. Haniger hustling to third, and this game is tied at 2. 4 consecutive hits for the Mariners.
Scott Emerson out to visit with his pitcher, and this is why, because again, breaking ball, he's just not that consistent with his pitches. And you know, you can say you're lucky. He's lucky the ball didn't leave the yard, because that was kind of a ball that was left with the launch angles these guys are using now. That was a pretty good pitch to drive the way he did. And that's 4 solid hits.
Yeah.
Hard hit balls.
So Vogelback, big Daniel Vogelback is the hitter. He's the DH today. Vogelback made this team out of spring training. He had a terrific spring, and sometimes for young players, spring numbers do matter, and I think for Vogelback, they did.
Some say this is his best position, DH.
Probably. A little bit outside.
Big boy.
Ooh, yes, he is. Good pitch there on the inside corner. Came over in a trade from the Chicago Cubs. That was in July of 2016. Paul Blackburn, who's now with the A's, was part of the trade. Mike Montgomery and Jordan Preece went to the Cubs. Rolled foul.
Schwarber kind of looked as big as this guy did until he lost all his weight. Here for Vogelback. Hey, that might have been a dynamic duo. Schwarber was a big boy with a lot of power. Same with Vogelback.
Media guide says 6 foot 250 for Daniel Vogelback.
Does that mean Pete Carroll's looking for him over next door at football?
He's the kind of guy you run away from. It's a big boy.
And Jonathan Lucroy, this is what you want to see in your catcher, and he's very good at doing it. Kind of brought the knees together, put his glove down, kept the run from scoring. That was a big one. See if they can make it work and make it beneficial.
2-2 the count. Good swing there as he got a fastball that was up out over the plate. Mike Margema is the on-deck hitter. It's a good rip right here.
Yeah, he didn't get cheated with 2 strikes. Frustrating for a manager to see a pitcher pitch as effectively as Andrew Triggs did Saturday and comes back tonight and kind of hoping for some good things to happen. There's another good block and a big strikeout.
So a pitch that was low and Vogelback chased it. So that is a big strikeout.
Well, the strikeout's huge, but also the block. And once again, Jonathan Lucroy doing a great job of actually catching this one and able to get out, look the runner back to third, clear himself a little bit, and make sure the runner from third didn't move. That is Haniger. And so Jonathan Lucroy, a great job, because those 2 blocks right there could have saved 2 runs. Because one could have scored, the other gone to third base, and the other block, he would have scored. So right now, you get out of this inning with just the 2. Take your catcher out to dinner.
Margema bounces it slowly toward short. Simeon's got it. Throws in time. Side retired. Could have been worse, but 2 runs on 4 hits for the Mariners. We're tied at 2 after 1.
California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So it's a 2-2 game after 1. Chapman, Lucroy, and Piscotti to face Mike Leake. And a quick 0-2. Leake spins that one in there first strike. Chapman at 347. He's got 4 homers. He's got 11 RBIs. Chapman was 2 for 9 in the series at Dodger Stadium, but one of those hits was a home run.
And the one thing about Matt Chapman, he's so strong. This may be the type of pitcher that he can go deep or at least drive the ball someplace, playing very shallow in the outfield, surprisingly. Yeah, there's a pitch there. That breaking ball, you try to pick up the spin, and as a hitter, you see where it starts. And if it's a breaking pitch, because the movement, the spin, let it go, it's going to be out of the strike zone.
Tapped just foul.
Well, watch this swing on his home run on Wednesday, the curveball. Watch what he does. Plants strong. That's all upper body. And he just kept carrying, and that was it. A jump to no avail. But that's just tremendous upper body strength and power of Matt Chapman.
Hits this one to Gordon in center. Gordon froze for just a second. Now he gets back near the warning track, and he makes the catch. So one away here in the top of the second inning.
Now, Dick Gordon's been an infielder. And of course, moved to center field. Everybody worried about him. But do you have the kind of speed that he does? Speed will make up for it. Plus a cheat sheet about. Let's see. Who's this hitter? His name is Jonathan Lucroy. Where am I going to play him?
Well, I remember when the trade was made this offseason, and I think anybody in baseball said, well, wait a minute. Robinson Cano plays second base, but the Mariners had a full plan in place, and they said, we're going to play Dee Gordon in center field. And let's not forget, Dee Gordon won a Gold Glove as a second baseman 3 years ago. But he has said, all right, you know what? Let's do it. And he showed up in spring training, and he surprised people. Showed off a pretty good arm.
Well, there have been a lot of infielders, I wouldn't say a lot, but some that have gone to the outfield and become Gold Glovers. And Robin Yount's down's out as a guy went from shortstop to center field. Did a great job.
He's got sensational speed. That will make up for any mistakes, and he will continue to get better and better out there. But toward Cano, who grabs it, looks like it got a little bit of Leake's glove.
Yeah.
So we'll go 1-4-3 on that.
Well, Bartolo Colon did that in Texas the other night, a line drive off his glove. This one actually hit the ground in front, and Leake got his glove on it. And nice throw to second base. And so that will be a 1-4-3. Robinson Cano very smooth at second base. And so instead of a possible base hit up the middle, you field your position as Leake did, got a glove on it, and maybe saved the base hit.
First pitch to Piscotti is a strike. Piscotti at 209 with 5 RBIs. 9 hits and 43 at-bats. He's got 1 double. And that one is ripped to left, and that's a base hit. Ichiro scoops it up. Hit number 3 for the A's.
See, that was the location. Watch the pitch, the location of this, and not surprised that Stephen Piscotti was able to hit this ball as hard as he did. Marginal wanted it inside. The pitch more in the middle of the plate, did not quite get inside. And at 89, that's a pretty hittable pitch. Piscotti, a nice swing on a pitch that was in his wheelhouse.
Well, Mike Leake, when you pitch the way he does, he's going to give up a lot of hits.
Yeah, he pitches to contact as much as anybody. Went 7 innings against the A's last year. He walked just 1, struck out 7. And he's seen him for the first time. That was the Shaw Mania game. He's had an early lead, very early, but Mariners scored 3 for Leake in the second, and that was it. In the third, that is.
Leake's combined numbers last year, he was 10-13 with a 3.92 ERA in 186 innings. Overall in his career, 85-77. See, when he came to the Mariners, he pitched well.
See the pitchers with the index finger slot where they can put their index finger, but it's leather around it so they don't tip pitches by moving. See, look at his index finger, his left index finger. It's kind of a sleeve where he puts the finger that prevents a hitter from being able to see what he might do with the finger to kind of tip a pitch, whether open, close it, whatever. Doesn't have to worry about it.
So he gets his first strikeout. It's Smolinski to end the top of the second. Bottom of the second coming up. We always see A's fans, pretty large amount up here. 3 times every year come to the Great Northwest. What's sort of interesting this year is we'll be back here in 3 weeks. Well, that's very strange. And then the last week of the season.
That's right.
So we like coming in June, July when the weather is just about perfect. Ichiro back in a Mariners uniform. How about that?
Well, you could tell by the roar of the crowd who was coming up.
Yep.
Never underestimate this young man here in Ichiro, because as watching the Mariners as they came out to stretch, he was already out running and stretching. There's the itchy meter that they brought back to life. They had it often whenever he played for the Mariners. Doesn't look any different really right now than it did before.
Lowry's got it. Still runs well. So that is out.
Well, last time the A's were here, I know you're going to remember this. Coors Light refreshing moment. How about this? Matt Chapman, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, man. Let me catch the ball. And then went over and gave him the ball. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Hey, were you excited for me?
Hey, when Captain America looks at you like that.
That's right.
He's got a good game face.
Oh, he does.
It was handled well by all parties.
Yeah. Matt, I mean, the way he handled the situation with the Angels last year in Oakland when he was ejected for standing up for his guys, really. And but, you know, he's kind of mild-mannered, but don't mess around with it, because the true Chappie might come out. But he's a gamer.
He loves to play the game.
Telling you, he's Matt Williams reincarnated.
That's exactly right. That's why the other Matt, who's now coaching third, really loves it.
That was the same way as a player.
Yeah.
Pretty serious, but yet off the field, he laughed with the best of them.
Yep.
Olson picks it up. He'll take it himself. Andrew Romine is retired. So both pitchers, after rough first innings, trying to settle in. Leake did, and now Triggs tries to do the same. So to the top of the order in D. Gordon.
And if Andrew Triggs can get this guy back to the dugout with 2 ground ball outs, and depending what happens with Gordon, that would be good, because maybe he's kind of settled in a little bit. You mentioned where the Mariners went. One of the stops was Kansas City. D. Gordon, his father, Flash Gordon, started with Kansas City, and of course he wanted to make sure that he saw some of the information perhaps in the Royals Hall of Fame area. And I remember when his dad, I want to say his first game was against the A's. He came in, he struck out 3, and I'm talking about McGuire, Canseco, Steinbach, guys like that. Uncle Charlie was oh, look out, because he had the 12-6 curveball as good as anybody.
Remember, his Ted, then he closed in Boston for a couple years and was really good.
Yeah. Now D, but he has another brother he's professional. I don't know if he's
with the Twins.
The Twins minor leagues. That's right.
In fact, he was a #1 draft pick.
That's right. Good call.
Who, from what we understand, is not that far away from the big leagues. This is not D. Gordon's best swing, but it was effective.
Well, that's down with a breaking ball, and that's called just give me another swing, give me another chance. Got the backdoor breaking ball that he failed at his first at bat, which was his last inning. Did you see he's in the sprinter's block as he's standing at the plate right now, just trying to slap the ball and run.
Right center. He's got it. D. Gordon is going to try for second as the ball is not handled cleanly by Piscotty. And Ray, you could see it coming.
Yeah, absolutely. He was going to go regardless.
He was going to go either way. Yeah. You're right.
I mean, he was thinking too as soon as he hit the ball. And so he stays alive, protecting on the swing with the pitch down and in, then flares the ball to right center. But see him out of the box. He's flying, and he's going for 2, knowing there are 2 outs. Piscotty slipped a little bit, but watch this. Watch as he starts to run. He's thinking, I'm going for 2 regardless. That's tremendous speed. When you average 60 stolen bases, 61 for 3 years in the big leagues, and that's an element that really is kind of a lost art in baseball, and the Mariners have him. If he can get on, he's a threat.
So here's Segura. So it looks like they gave him a double.
Yeah. I think because he was running all the way, and that's the reason.
And the ball did check up a little bit on Piscotty.
But you know, by getting the scoring position, of course, if he'd been at first, he would have attempted probably to steal second. He already has 5s, not been caught stealing yet. But now with Segura, who's the Mr. Magic 1 with the bat.
0-2. Segura rolled one into center field in the first inning for a base hit.
And that was with 2 strikes like it is right now.
Segura, a very good hitter. Kind of holds that bat out in front a little bit. Last year, Segura hit right at 300 in 125 games. Had 157 hits in 125 games.
Okay, when you're a contact hitter like he is, it doesn't matter, because you make contact, anything good can happen. Matter of fact, a lot of good can happen.
Swings and misses. Luke Croy blocks it, tags him side, retired. Third strikeout for Triggs. Runner stranded at second, and we're headed to the third, tied at 2.
Well, we know that. We'll tell him about it in a minute. The full thing.
2-2 top of the third inning. Top of the order for the A's. Joyce, Simeon, and Lowry. On a Friday night here in Seattle. Not a real big crowd.
Because they're all stuck in the party deck.
Yeah, they're all out in left center field in the party deck. It's the place to be here in Seattle. I'm telling you, look at that. That is a standing room only.
You think they really care about this game?
It's the second best left field spot in baseball to stand. The first is the treehouse.
The treehouse has to be number one. Numero uno. The treehouse.
Wow, look at that play. Come on.
Occupancy, capacity, there is none. It's just.
I think it's over capacity. But those people, they have a good time out there.
And when the game is over, they go, why do we have to leave? I thought we just got here.
It's always crowded out there, and everybody's always having a good time. Good spot here at Safeco Field. 3-1 to Joyce, who singled to start the game. And now he's got a walk.
Now we can tell you that MLB at Bat is your #1 Oakland Athletics apps. Customize your experience. Catch every moment this season. Catch A's home screen icons get A's home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bats today at Edgar's in left field.
Simeon, who takes outside. Marcus hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning.
You know, Cap, we're just watching some of the hitters with, just like you said, Simeon going to right field. I think they realize, they being the A's players, realize that Leake likes to throw the breaking pitch, kind of drop down 3/4 a little bit. A little bit of a swerve going away from the right-handers, and if you stay back and go opposite field, you got a pretty good chance to do something.
Simeon does go opposite way, hits it pretty well. Haniger backing up, he's got it. Saw Haniger do something that you like to see an outfielder do, Ray. He got behind the ball just in case Matt Joyce was going to tag up, so he was set up to get the throw back in quickly with something on it.
That's what you're supposed to do. He looked to see where he was to the warning track, gets back, comes back, and then
one step and a throw.
That's ideal. You catch it in one step and throw. You don't want to catch it over your head, have to take a couple of steps to regroup and then throw.
Here's Lowry. Fielder's choice for Lowry in the first, and then he scored on Davis's home run.
You really need to hit the ball the way Chris Davis did, kind of on the line drive. You hit it in the air as Simeon did, it's going to be knocked down because of the elements, and it is a cool night, heavy air.
Gordon on the move, and D. Gordon caught it and then dropped it. Joyce is going to go to third. Lowry alertly goes to second.
And boy, when you make a mistake, the worst thing you could do is complicate the mistake by throwing to the wrong base, because if he throws to second, he keeps the double play in order. Instead, the ball, watch his speed. Great first step. He goes after it, reaches up, maybe takes his eye off, or maybe he was too fast and clanked it right in the middle of the glove. But when he came up with the ball, he just closed the glove too quickly. But came up and threw to third. As Jed Lowry, ball slicing away from Gordon. But Jed figured he's going to catch it, and then, oh, he dropped it. I better go to second. Once he saw the throw going to third, he was able to do that easily.
So it is an error on Gordon. He was there, and you're right, it just popped out of his glove. So an opportunity for the A's, see if they can take advantage with Davis stepping in. It's a nice block by Margema.
Now, first inning, Chris Davis pitch, and you know what happens, guy? He does open up, but the bat's back.
Yeah.
And that's the reason, the way he is able to hit the ball so hard to the opposite field. And really, it kind of squares it up, almost like your great golf swing. You know, when you kind of open up and let it rip. Yeah. That's what he does. It's down the middle.
It's a very unique swing that Chris Davis has. We talked about it. He does. His foot goes in the bucket a little bit, but he doesn't fly open.
No. The hips.
See, he stays in there pretty good with the hips.
But see, really, that's just because his bat's a little bit sore. If his bat followed his front side, he would roll over. But he kind of gets under the ball, the old launch angle, to the point that he has the tremendous power, and that's why he should never ever try to pull the ball unless the ball's coming into him like with Alex Wood on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I can't think of another hitter that just kind of has the same style that he has, and obviously not very many people have his power. But it's almost like the bat kind of drags a little bit, but yet it's not really dragging because he's got such great bat speed.
Exactly. But I think that's just his
swing plane, kind of
swing plane, but also his trigger mechanism where he starts.
Yeah.
But see, if you pitch him away and down, he's not going to reach it. And here's your launch angle, the StatCast, and you can see just the way it goes. The 27-degree launch angle, 415 feet, over 100 miles per hour leaving his bat. Right now, just trying to get a base hit to right field, and hoping that Lee can make a mistake and lead the ball up again.
Big pitch here. Rolled up the third baseline, foul.
See, I'm a little surprised after the swing in which he missed the breaking pitch away that Marjama went inside basically with a two-seamer, wanted to pitch down. But you're flirting with danger if you go in there. It's an 18, so he's got one to center, actually slight left center when he hit the 3-run home run against Garrett Richards. And then trying to get a chase there. So he's hit 2 to right center, counting tonight and on Wednesday, and pretty potent bat behind him if they decide to pitch carefully to KD, which probably be a breaking ball away, just like he threw 2 and 2.
Leak delivers, and he went with a breaking ball, and Davis chased it. I got the feeling, Ray, that he was not going to give in.
No, that's why I thought after the one, he tried to get him to chase 2 and 2. But, you know, it's the old saying, if he doesn't swing at this, it's ball 4, but no big deal. Instead, he gets a strikeout. Fortunately for Marjama, watch out, Marjama tried to catch the ball, block it. That's not good. If you try to backhand a ball in front of you, you're just snatching at it. So he caught a break in catching the ball, but see as this game progresses if that type of style ends up being a wild pitch.
Now it's up to Olson, and the first pitch to Olson just a little bit high at 88 miles an hour. Olson grounded out into the shift to Segura, but Segura was playing on the right side. That was in the first inning. And now 2-0.
Really, it's kind of reversed now. You got Chapman, the right hand in the on deck circle, and first base open with Olson. Chance to pitch him carefully as well. Chapman, though, I would not take a chance with him.
So Olson, see if he gets something to hit here on 2-0. He did, and he skies it left center. Ichiro's there, and Ichiro's got it. So Mike Leake wiggles his way out of the jam, and the A's strand 2, bottom of the third, coming up. for a little while anyways. Robinson Cano is going to lead things off. He singled and scored in the first. Saw last night, Ray, where Trevor Cahill pitched again for Ace AAA team in Nashville. He pitched into the 6th inning.
And you know what that means, don't you, Kite?
Well, what it means is the A's did not sign him to pitch in the minor leagues.
No, and Tuesday would be his 5th day.
That's true.
And the A's are going to need a starter on the 5th day or on Tuesday. Remember, the 2 off days so they could back it up is starting tonight, 6 consecutive games. And the 5th game would be Tuesday, which the A's need a starter. So tonight's starter Triggs will pitch the finale against the White Sox on Wednesday, but Tuesday they'll need a starter, and speculation is that it might be Trevor Cahill. And you're right, he was not signed to pitch in Nashville.
So we'll see what happens there.
Wow. Tell you
Robinson Cano off to that 406 start.
Well, if he gets that last strike or last pitch called a ball, then his strike zone is very small. But Chapman at 347 entering today's game. Cano's is higher with the hit already today. It's the same pitch. It's worse than the previous pitch. That pitch was worse than the one before, and he called it a strike. Upper part of the strike zone. The previous one was a little bit lower than where Lucroy caught that 3-0.
So 3-1 now to Cano. Haniger to follow, and then Seager. And that one eased in there first strike. Looked like Cano was taken all the way.
And the one thing, the problem for Andrew Triggs, he got away with that one, but he'd like to pitch more down in the zone.
He's been up.
He's been up a little bit too much, and pitching up the way he does can be dangerous because he doesn't throw 98. I don't think we've seen an Xfinity sign tonight, have we?
No, and I don't think we will. Not until the bullpen.
Yeah, because neither pitcher really throws high octane.
Hits that one foul. Another thing to keep an eye on, Ray, Ryan Dull is here.
That's right. Yep.
There's a reason why Ryan Dull is here. He's ready to come off the disabled list.
Yeah.
So that is another transaction that the A's are going to have to take care of.
When I asked Bob Melvin, I said, any move? And he said, not today.
Not today.
And it doesn't mean not tomorrow, not the next day, but not today.
That was high, and he walked him. So leadoff walk for Cano here in the 3rd. That's the first walk issued by Triggs. So that's a couple of things to keep an eye on from a A's pitching staff standpoint. So leadoff man on. Here's Haniger, who had an RBI single in the first. .50 pitches for Triggs.
And this is one of those games you'd like to say throw away the pitch counter, because the pitch count will probably force him to exit earlier than he should. But the first inning, when I got it for 26 pitches, he didn't know whether he was throwing. He really started pitching better last inning.
Now right now Haniger sitting on a 2-0 count. Haniger with 9 RBIs now on the year, so he's off to a good start. Missed again, 3-0.
See, if he's on top with that breaking ball and down, you may chase it. But when you drop it in the elbow and the pitch is elevated, it floats away, and it's very recognizable to the point hitters aren't going to really swing at a chase pitch like that. That's back-to-back 3-0 counts.
That one's a strike. Gotta throw another one.
Well, I hope the hard hit ground ball goes at an infielder so he can turn 2 instead of being a a base hit to left field, which is what Haniger did his first at bat. Fastball away, two-seamer, maybe trying to bring it back over the corner.
Threw that one at 89.
Still not the location he wanted.
Nope. That was a pretty hittable pitch.
Yes, it was. And you're throwing 89 down the middle of the plate. Good thing about that, Haniger tried to hit it to Edgars.
Yes, he did. Over Edgars, preferably.
When you do that, you open up. Unlike what KD does when he opens up. It's another fastball away.
Cano not running. And the ball's rolled foul.
Yeah, but hitters get big with their swings. That's why a lot of times a two-strike swing is better for a hitter, because if he has a count like the 3-1, you find yourself trying to do, as the old saying goes, a little bit too much, like try to hit the ball 9 miles.
This one skied on the infield, near the mound. Chapman has it.
Fans, we have the only bobblehead that honors our city in one of the most successful movies in cinematics history. It's called Black Panther. Oakland A's and Marvel are proud to release a glow-in-the-dark Black Panther bobblehead in honor of the city of Oakland and hometown hero and director Ryan Coogler. Fans can snag this one-of-a-kind bobblehead Saturday, May the 5th. That's against the Orioles. It's brought to you by Comerica Bank. Be one of 15,000 fans to get yours upon entering the ballpark. Visit athletics.com/promotions to grab your piece of Oakland history.
Hey, Ray, you want to know what movie I saw last night?
What'd you see last night?
Black Panther.
How was it?
Awesome.
You did it without Jack?
I did
you
it
fly
by
Jack
myself.
up here to do it?
Me and the extra large bucket of popcorn get out of my way.
Was it one of those bottomless popcorns?
Oh, I love going to a movie and just
sit.
Give me a Pepsi and a popcorn. Get out of my way.
So
it was a really good movie.
So you're endorsing Pepsi now, huh?
Well, no, I'm endorsing Black Panther as a terrific movie.
So you're saying the theater showed Pepsi? They sold Pepsi and not Coke or anything, right?
They showed Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good, as advertised.
Well, I read there's it's one of the ladies that plays it, like 88 years old. She started acting at 88.
Yep.
And got the part. And
it is high action.
She's a superstar.
High action movie. With Oakland as the background. Nothing wrong with that.
See Jonathan Lucroy going through tapping his chest protector, shin guards, arm. It's basically called outside signs, perhaps. And a lot of times what a catcher does in touching various parts of equipment, mask, shin guard, chest protector, and then the fingers, the numbers that he puts down between his legs mean nothing. Or it could be an indicator that whatever I touch, whatever sign after that is the pitch.
That's going to be foul. Well hit, but well foul. And it somehow ends up in right field. Stephen Piscotty's thinking, how is that ball right next to me?
Scary thing for teams facing the Mariners and Seager is the fact that he's off to a good start. He typically, in the past at least, has had some very slow starts. It has not been the case this year.
And when the season's over, he's going to hit between 25 and 30 home runs. He's going to drive in 90 runs. He's going to have 35 doubles. That's just what he does.
But, you know, from his standpoint, if he's starting off this year better, his home run in Kansas City win a game. From his standpoint, it may be increasing those numbers 5 or 10.
Maybe a career year. Huh?
Yeah. Now, he is signed long-term. He signed a long-term contract. But by season, you're exactly right. This is kind of what he does. 20 and 12, 30 and 2016. So there's your 20 to 30, 35, and who knows this year? Who knows what might happen?
Yeah, the Mariners pegged him as a cornerstone guy, and they signed him to a 7-year, $100 million contract. This is the 4th year already of that 7-year deal. So he's well into the contract.
But when Nelson Cruz does come back, as we always say, you've got Cano, Cruz, and Seager. And pretty standard everyday lineup for Scott Service. There is Nelson Cruz, Jerry DiPoto, the general manager, or executive VP of baseball operations and general manager.
He's made a lot of trades the last couple of years.
Wow.
Center field, but in the ballpark. Smolinski, he gets behind it, makes the catch, gets it back in quickly.
You like the sound of the ball meeting the bat on that one, because it sounded like he cracked it, or at least did it, not hit it as true as possible. And I always say that if you can get a hitter, a power hitter, to hit the ball to center field, let's listen. See, that just didn't sound that great.
Nope.
He knew he didn't get on the sweet part of the bat. You center that ball, it might go out with his power. But the best thing Andrew Triggs did was get it to hit the ball to center field instead of pulling it the shortest distance. And that two-seamer running away from the left-hander, and him try to pull it.
Here's Vogelbach, who struck out in the first inning. He struck out with runners at second and third and one out.
Just like Chris Davis did at the top of the inning. Same thing. So big strikeouts for both pitchers.
I don't think the big fella is going to be bunting. Nice play by Lucroy.
Now I tell you, if you're going to give a catcher a Gold Glove based on the blocks, Jonathan Lucroy might win it. That is a great play, great mobility behind the plate, and the fact that he was able to get his body in front of it and catch the ball, moving laterally, that's a great play. And that's a big 90 feet that the runner first base has not been able to take.
So 2-0 with Cano still at first. He had the leadoff walk. And that one's hit hard. Lowry dives. He's got it. Make that Semien throw to first. In time. Marcus Semien with the shift on, playing out in shallow right field, makes a terrific play. Took a base hit and what would have been a first and third away from the Mariners. Worth another look.
And this is why Marcus Semien is playing there. He can throw from his backside and think a strong throw.
Seattle, Washington. It's a 2-2 game. A's and the Mariners squaring off for the first time this year. Mariners were a little tough on the A's last year. 12-7 against the Athletics. So the A's will try to change that up this year in the 19 games these two teams play against each other. There's a base hit to center field. Maybe off the end of the bat a little bit for Chapman. He'll take it. Well, the 12th season of the NBC Sports California All-Star Teacher Program is here. recognizing teachers that make a difference. Visit NBCSportsCalifornia.com and vote. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school.
I bet you'd be a good teacher. Huh? Yeah?
That's funny.
I think you'd make an excellent teacher.
You're funny, Ray.
Maybe,
I don't know.
What are you going to do in the wintertime after baseball? I want to go teach. I think you'd be good.
Not sure the patience is there. Depending on what grade you're talking about. Runner going. And Luke Croy pops it up right near first. And Cano has it, so Chapman hustles back. So a little hit and run maybe from Bob Melvin.
Yeah.
Try to get something going.
A hit and run, you try to hit down on the ball, hit the ball on the ground. You think about so many of the launch angle hitters, you know, trying to hit on top of the ball on a hit and run. Maybe you don't see as many anymore, as many signs given for the hit and run.
I guess you may look at Leake and say, hey, here's a guy that is always around the plate.
That's
and
right. Ground ball pitcher.
Sinks the ball a little bit. He's not going to strike a huge amount of guys out. Probably a good guy to do it against.
That's a good point. Great point.
Leake has 2 strikeouts. He's walked 1, 53 pitches so far. There's the ground ball percentage.
Hey, last year, one start he had last year against the A's, he had 8 ground ball outs, 6 fly ball outs, and 7 strikeouts.
Quick throw. Little Eagles reference, the long run. Pitchers to make 30 starts each season. Leake, Lester, Scherzer, Kennedy. So he takes the baseball, right?
He does. It's a pretty good rotation.
That's not bad. He could win some games with that.
Yeah.
1-0 to Piscotty. Piscotty had a base hit with 1 out. Make that with 2 outs in the second inning.
In fact, one of the things we're seeing with Mike Leake also with Margin with his catcher, and you know we always talk about the add and subtracting. I've seen at times he gets a sign he will brush his pant leg, which is subtract, or his jersey is add, and so we're seeing that at least some of it tonight. That's if he and Margin are not on the same page. Instead of standing and shaking, he's just saying, okay, this is what I want to throw. I'm gonna add or subtract to it.
Well, you talk about that often, but you do not see very many pitchers do that anymore.
We got a guy in the studio named Dave Stewart that did it all the time, and you can't tell me that the infielders don't know. They always want to know what the pitch is going to be. Well, watch the pitcher. If he adds or subtracts, and you know the signs.
Gordon coming in, he's not going to get it. Chapman read it well. He's going to try for third, and he'll make it as Gordon made the decision to throw it into second base, and I think he made the right decision. But good read by Chapman, and Piscotty's got his second hit.
That's a good point, Kai, because I think if nothing else, if you watch Gordon in center field, he was not aggressively going after the ball. A little bit off the end of the bat. Watch Gordon on top of your screen. He doesn't get a great jump, and by the time he does break, he's kind of looking to come straight in. And again, he's been an infielder his career, but Chappie at that point read it, and he was able to get to third without a throw, and Gordon this time smartly threw the ball to second. So the A's would try again as they had last inning. Runner at third, less than 2 out, could not get him in. Smolinski would try to do that this time.
Sinker low. Smolinski struck out in the second inning. Got a chance to give the A's the lead here in the fourth. Grounded right to third. Out at second, and that's a double play. So Leake made a pretty good pitch, got in a little bit on Smolinski, and he got exactly what he needed. The 5-4-3 double play. In Oakland, now we want you, the fans, to pick the most memorable moment. It's a season-long promotion that runs through the end of September. Tonight, it's the 2013 Brandon Moss walk-off home run in the 19th inning. That's been winning a lot. Versus Marco Scutaro, the walk-off against Mariano Rivera on Jackie Robinson Day. That was in 2007. Fans vote through our A's Twitter poll. Play that wins advances to face the next memorable moment. We tell you that because Brandon Moss's 2-run walk-off home in the 9th inning is on a hot streak right now, and he's advancing quickly through the tournament. What do you think?
I love the tournament. The 19th inning thing kind of gets you every time. But Marco Scutaro did it against Mariano Rivera, which it's supposed to be a front door cut fastball with 2 strikes, and he did not cut except off the foul pole. And okay, never forget the look on the Yankees' faces as they left, because they were swept that weekend thanks to that miraculous home run by Marco, the walk-off. Also had a big hit Marco did against the Twins in the 2006.
Triggs fires to first, and he makes a very nice play to get Marjima.
You think about a pitcher having hip surgery last year, curtailed his season, and this ball chopped, and then out in front it just calmly went after it, and fortunately it was a big catcher running. Marjima not running that swiftly, and Triggs, though, tremendous play. A nice stretch by Matt Olson at first base to get the out. And the only difference there, you'd like to see somebody just take, well, you can't anymore, because one time you could go out and talk to the guy and kind of calm him down. You can't do it anymore.
Can't do it.
I forgot, lost my head there for a moment.
Simeon charges. Did you see the note on mound visits? First 2 weeks of the season, do you see it? The average amount of mound visits the first 2 weeks of the season combined per game, 3.7. Last year,
1.2.
7.4. That's
really?
Combined mound visits, both teams, a 9-inning game. So the mound visits have been cut in half.
But
the first 2 weeks of the season.
Tell me how much time it saved. Did that go into it too?
I guess the games are a couple minutes shorter, but I'm with you on that. I don't know that that has necessarily saved any time.
And I still say,
although it could change the pace of game a little bit.
Yeah. But the strategy, and remember, this is a game that it's high level. It's a huge business. You try to win. You try to play in October, and if a mound visit is going to help you get through a tough situation, I believe you should take time to do it. Just because if you're taken away, and what is it? We saw Alex Wood on Wednesday. Somebody talk to me. Come on.
Well, and I agree with you, but my point is then somebody should have went and talked to him.
Exactly.
Because the Dodgers went home that night with mound visits in their pocket.
And if you're averaging 3.7 or
3.4, but use them.
You've got 2 left on average in the case of the Dodgers that night. Yeah, they had a whole bunch left.
Sure, use them.
And they're not going to do anything in your pocket.
No, they are not.
Hey, we had 4 left over. Well, they're not left over for the next game.
Carrying over.
The Diamondbacks, they're starting fresh at 6 tonight.
So 3-2 the count to Romine.
That wiggle usually is a 2-seamer, a little sinker, throwing it right towards the middle of the plate.
And that's a good pitch, and that's a good inning. 3 ground ball outs for Triggs, and we're moving to the 5th from Safeco. It's a 2-2 game.
Sox, and the Red Sox come to Oakland. That starts Monday. First, it's 3 games starting April the 16th. That's against the White Sox, followed a 3-game weekend series against the Red Hot Red Sox starting on April the 20th. There's 20,000 fans. Get the Matt Chapman Kelly Green replica jersey on Green Friday, April the 20th. Get yours at athletics.com/tickets today. Fun homestand coming up with the White Sox, the Red Sox, and I think the Red Sox might be happy coming into the Coliseum to Oakland and get some good weather. It has been cold and rainy in Boston, but they're winning.
Yeah, they won again. They're now 11-2 on the year. Beat the Orioles at Fenway.
Good night from Manjoy so far with a walk and a single and leadoff hitter. It's what you like to see. A couple of home runs for the A's outfielder.
2-2 now to Joyce. Another breaking ball. Lee keeps flipping it in there.
Steady diet of breaking pitches.
.63 pitches for Leake, 4+ innings. Goes with a fastball inside. Seems like he's got a purpose for every pitch he's thrown.
He does.
So we'll see if that inside pitch sets up something outside, but it looks like they're coming back in there. Hit hard, but Romine stays down on it. So Joyce is retired for the first time. One away from Marcus Semien. And he's got their runs in the first on a 2-run homer by Chris Davis. Mariners answered right back with 2 in the bottom of the first.
But opportunities for the Athletics in third and fourth. Running third, less than 2 outs. They not only didn't get the runner in with less than 2 outs, but didn't get the big hit with 2 outs. Something that we talked about in our open about what the A's have been doing on this road trip.
So 1-1 the count. Outside with the breaking ball. 2-1 the count.
Kathy, I always talk about pitchers repeating their delivery. Everything's the same for Mike Leake.
That's for sure.
Puts the ball in front of his face. As soon as he gets the sign, goes down to below the belt and lets it go. No deviation whatsoever from his delivery, which is pretty compact and very consistent.
I bet he's thrown like that since he was 8 years old. Just a little bit outside. 9 miles an hour.
Wearing the number 8, it's a rarity. Yu Darvish, of course, wears 11. But a lot of pitchers, most pitchers, wear high numbers.
And it's a walk. Some A's offensive numbers so far. This is where they rank in the American League. Now remember, this is coming off a 16-run 21-hit game at Dodger Stadium, which certainly helped these numbers. Tied for fifth in the league in home runs. On base percentage is good. Runners in scoring position has gone up quite a bit. They were 8 for 17 in that game at Dodger Stadium with runners in scoring position. So that night helped everybody out. That walk to Semien, the second walk allowed by Mike Lee. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts now. Lowry has reached on a fielder's choice and reached on an error. Full shift on. Seager in a little bit. That's a strike as he tried to check his swing.
This was in the 9th inning. 11th pitch down the line. Three-run home run and just inside the foul pole. And Jed Lowry, 3 home runs in the game. Chris Davis, Matt Chapman, Jed Lowry.
A little bit. No, thought it was inside. So did Lowry. He can't believe it. And strike 3 is called. Carlos Torres, the home plate umpire, said, good enough for me.
Well, Bob Melvin saying the ball's up, and the reason he said that, looked like it caught the corner, but that pitch has been called a ball because of being too high. And Jed, that's one of the 2 seamers that comes back that really is tough on hitters.
So that's the second out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, to Lowry, you saw outside, outside, and then inside, and all pitches up, all pitches called strikes, and Jed couldn't believe it.
First pitch to Davis. It's hit very high to center. D. Gordon waiting. He's got it, side retired. He's got a 1-out walk, nothing else. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be the top of the order for Seattle. A cool, damp night here in Seattle.
Hey, come back here, come back here. Have some ice cream. But it's freezing, Dad. Have some ice cream anyway.
First pitch to D. Gordon is a strike. D. Gordon, strikeout and a double. Hit hard but foul.
Cap, I remember, I'm sure as you do, when D. Gordon was traded from the Dodgers to the Marlins, and it was a Hollywood actor said, "How could you trade D. Gordon?" So he was pretty popular in Los Angeles, especially with his speed. I mean, you were averaging 61 stolen bases per season. I mean, that's a different type of a game that he brings, especially to the Mariners.
It was an interesting trade.
Yeah.
So he strikes out there.
Speaking about good things happening, our gift of the city is right around the corner. Parking lots open at 12 noon. Parking is free. That's for the 50th anniversary game. Arrive early. Gates open for season ticket members at 3:30 p.m. All fans at 4:30 p.m. All seats are general admission. First come, first serve. Season ticket members will have an exclusive general admission seating area. All tickets have been distributed. Additional tickets are not available online or at the box office on game day. Go to athletics.com/50 for more details. And folks, if you want a gift to the city, there it is. Free game. Unheard of. Major League Baseball. And remember, doubleheaders aren't played anymore because they want all gates, all single dates. And here's an opportunity to enjoy a Tuesday night baseball 50th anniversary of the first game played at the Coliseum.
Chapman ranging far to his left, throws in time. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be a big day, big night. Arrive early, take public transportation.
Yes,
those are our 2 best
key.
pieces of advice.
Yeah. And you know, I think too, as we talked on Wednesday night when we talked about this, that batting practice, the team usually stretch. The team, the home team can get out as early as they want. Sometimes they allow the visiting team to have early batting practice, but say by 3:30, 4 o'clock, you have the home team out, which would be the Athletics. So you have the season ticket holders arriving 3:30, everybody else 4:30. So you come early, you get a chance to watch the A's batting practice, which usually is over by the time the gates are open on normal days. So here's an opportunity to see batting practice, get souvenirs, and enjoy. Matter of fact, I saw somebody at the Cubs game. I saw that a kid wrote a sign and said, "I'm skipping school to watch the game today. Don't tell my principal." The principal was at the game too. So they both.
So he had the principal's name on the sign. I think.
But you know, you don't put a sign up because somebody's going to see it with social media. But it happened to be the principal said, "No problem, I'm there too." Yeah. So that's what we hope for will be happening next Tuesday at the Coliseum. Parking lot's open at 12. Good chance to get there early. Have a good day. And just have a good day for the gift to the city.
1-2 the count to Robinson Cano, who has singled, walked, and scored a run.
Triggs, when he finishes the delivery, kind of jumps a little bit, trying to position himself to be a fielder in addition to the pitcher. And that's what you want to see. The shift, though, you have to turn around and see the Marcus Semien. He's playing near second. See where he is, kind of in line. So in the case of a ball up the middle, maybe you don't want to try to knock it down. Let the shortstop handle it.
And now it's 3-2. Mitch Haniger, who would be next. Payoff pitch, here it comes. And he missed outside. Triggs, the 2-out walk. 2 walks issued by Triggs tonight, both to Cano.
You have to wonder if Robinson Cano wants to hit 400. He's been patient.
Yep.
He has not hit a home run yet hitting over 400, and that's increased tonight with the hit and 2 walks. You mentioned congratulations to Joe Mauer. Minnesota Twins got his 2,000th hit yesterday. Joins Kirby Puckett and Rod Carew. Only 3 Twins to ever amass that number, 2,000 hits. Rod Carew total over 3,000, but also with the Angels.
Joe Mauer all in a Twins uniform.
Yep. Homegrown product.
I saw that and I was thinking, I think the Twins will keep Joe Mauer. His contract is up. Still a pretty productive hitter.
But he's not the power hit he was at the Metrodome, but it's a different stadium, different dimensions.
He's 35 years old, and the final year of that huge 8-year contract he signed. He had a good year last year, hit over 300, knocked in 71 runs, and yeah, he's just not a middle of the order hitter anymore. Still gets on base a lot. So they'll have a decision to make there if they want to bring Joe Mauer back. It's one of those things where if Joe Mauer put on a different uniform, it would be the strangest thing ever.
You know, here's the case is one other block for Jonathan Lucroy, and he's putting on a clinic tonight. Zunino, outstanding catcher for the Mariners, on the disabled list, oblique, but he does a good job as well. But he's got to be taking some big notices of Jonathan Lucroy. But I think in the case of Mauer, usually if you have a productive years, you get a raise, he may take a cut. Just because the huge contract that he got that was unheard of at the time.
Yeah, he's over $20 million a year. He has been that way since the beginning of the contract. 8 years, $184 million was the contract. It's big iron, as they like to say.
A lot of iron. And that's a great block. And you know, you can say, well, what's the big deal about a block? Well, if he doesn't block, Robinson Cano is now in scoring position at second base where base hit scores him. Now it might take 2 to score him from first base. Been back-to-back pitches that he's blocked to keep Cano at first.
2-2 pitch is bounced toward Chapman. He's got it. Throws a little bit high. Big Matt Olson has it. No problem. Side retired. We're moving to the 6th inning. It's still a 2-2 game. So it's a 2-2 game, top of the 6th inning. Interesting conversation going on there, I would imagine.
Well, too many handshakes, which means he's done.
I think Triggs trying to talk his way to staying in the game. Don't know if it worked or not.
Now he's talking to the offense to score me some runs so I can get a chance to get a victory.
Quick an 0-2 to Olson. Chapman to follow, and then Lucroy. So 5 innings for Triggs, and Olson swings at a pitch in the dirt. And that's out number 1. So Leake gets his 4th strikeout. He's talking to Ryan Noel, who he told you is here. Still on the disabled list, but here. So 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning, and Chapman steps up. Angels won again, 5-4 in Kansas City. They were trailing in that game, but they scored a run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and won 5-4. So the Angels are red hot. They've won 6 in a row. They're now 12-3.
Best start ever.
Yep. Pujols hit a home run, his 617th in his career. Buchter starts to throw for the A's. Shohei Ohtani was 2 for 4 with a single and a double, and he scored a run. So another good game for Ohtani.
So he won't play tomorrow because he's pitching Sunday, right? That's kind of the plan.
Ohtani now is 11 for 30 on the year with 11 RBIs. Chapman in the air to center, and it's hit well. Gordon's back. Gordon leaps, and that baby's gone.
Wow, that young man's strong, Kate. He is strong. And Andrew Triggs, if that's your last inning, there's your run if the bullpen can get you 12 outs. But extremely happy that Matt Chapman just crushed the ball on a very, very cool night. There it is, and there it goes. And this is all his power because it was not thrown hard. But Matt Chapman is as strong as there is in this game. What a swing.
So number 5 for Chapman. He now has 12 RBIs.
Well, look at where this ball goes. Just a little bit left of center into the party deck, and they had to be cheering for it. 2 home runs given up by Leake in tonight's game, both giving the A's the lead. Try to hold this one.
And that one's hit hard, and Seager knocks it down. Where did it hit him? Or did he just get a glove on it? That ball was hit very hard. Ball took a hop up around his face, and initially it looked like it may have hit him, but I think it hit his glove.
Well, he's playing back. Yeah, it hit his glove to the left, and he went down because the ball hit off his glove, and maybe just happy that he took the ball on the side because it was going right at his face, and he put his glove in front of his head. You're going to Gold Glove. Even those plays you can't make. Whoa, scalded.
Piscotty goes after the first pitch, skies one toward the seats down the right field line and into the seats. A couple of hits for Piscotty to get his average up to 244.
So it's got to be a big adjustment for him coming to the American League after his years with the Cardinals. A teammate of Mike Leake's before he
That's right.
came over to Seattle, and Piscotty here.
That one's hit well, but right at Ichiro who grabs it. So some hard hit balls here in the 6th inning.
Well, how about StatCast? Matt Chapman, the green, the launch angle, and the velocity at 106, 402 feet with a launch angle of 28 degrees on a cool night.
Yep. So 2 more hits for Matt Chapman. He now has 19 hits in 14 games.
And you know, kind of one of the oldest things in baseball, staying within yourself. Have you seen him swing so hard that he's out of character in his swing? Just been a nice, easy swing, but so strong, and he's just getting better and better.
Smolinski rolls it foul, so he's quickly behind in the count 0-2. Tough start for Smolinski. He's 1 for 18 this year. It's probably frustrating. He had a great spring. Doesn't always carry over. Told you the party deck's crowded out there, and when a home run ball goes in there, anything can happen.
Oh. Oh my. Got a half a brew left.
Oh yeah, maybe if they're lucky.
A beer bath in the party deck. Ryan Christensen, new bench coach this year, standing next to the hot man. That is Matt Chapman.
Marjama and Leake trying to get together. And that one off Marjama. It rolls over toward the Mariners dugout. And Lucroy will go to second.
Now get your RBI, Jake. Started 0-2, taking it 3-2, and kind of the way the Leake has pitched tonight. This is a breaking ball. Tried to go back door with a 2-seamer actually, and could not block it, but Lucroy going to second base, and you'd have to think the way he being Leake has pitched tonight, it would be a breaking ball 3-2. He just does not want to give in, maybe because his fastball is not so overpowering that it doesn't want to take a chance with the heater.
Smolinski reached for that one, hits it high and foul down the left field line.
The kind of in these cases is as a right-handed hitter, if you think about opposite field, that way you take the slider and you go with it the opposite field instead of trying to look for a pitch you probably are not going to get, and that would be a fastball.
Three-two. Bounce towards Segura. Segura across in time. Side retired. A's take the lead here in the 6th on a home run by Matt Chapman, his 5th home run of the year. Bottom of the 6th coming up. A's now leading it 3-2.
Brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So the A's now have the lead 3-2, bottom of the 6th inning. And the A's are going to the bullpen. Ryan Buchter comes in here in the 6th, appearance number 8. So the A's are playing in their 14th game. Buchter appearing in his 8th. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake expert. So a couple of lefties, Seager and Vogelbach. Certainly one of the reasons why Buchter is in there. First pitch is a strike. Seager with an RBI double and a fly ball to center field. So Triggs finishes at 93 pitches. 5 innings, couple of runs, 4 strikeouts.
Well, those 5 hits all came in the first 2 innings, 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and none in the last 3 with a couple of walks. So good recovery by Andrew Triggs to be able to get through 5. And you know, Kevin, what I thought was interesting, and Bob Melvin does it, he's had Buchter warming up, but he let Triggs know before the inning started that he was done. So regardless what happened, it's not, okay, they don't score, let me go back out. If they did score, I don't want to go back out. He's known before, no matter what happens with the A's offense, that he's coming out of the game. And I think that's great planning by the skipper to let him know, let pitchers know exactly where they stand.
Petit starts to throw in the A's bullpen. So the A's bullpen will need to get 12 outs tonight in a 1-run game. One and 2 to Seager. Blocked nicely by Lucroy. Three runs, 7 hits for the A's. 2 runs, 5 hits with 1 error for Seattle. A little bit low, so the count 4.
Well, Buchter's in to do one thing and to get lefty out, lefties. Seager's going to be sitting dead red. Just a matter of if it's a fastball, the location of the pitch.
He hits it hard. Lowry dives. He's got it. Gets up. Throws to first, but he throws it wide. Lucroy hustling over, knocks it down, and that'll keep Seager at first base.
And he had more time than he actually probably thought. Playing in the outfield grass, the dive. And nice angle by Jed Lowry to get to the ball, and just got up, and you know, he knew, but that's what a catcher's supposed to do. When you don't do it, this can be a very, very difficult time because the runner's going to go to second. And Seager actually maybe thought the ball had gotten by far enough, but Jonathan Lucroy, a great job of backing up and took the good angle to be able to keep the ball from getting past him and allowing the runner to go to second.
You don't want it to roll down the walkway, the stairs. If it does, then it's automatic second base. Here's Vogelbach. He takes inside. That's why at the Coliseum, where dugouts are long, long ways from the field, there's no fence in front of the dugout.
That's right. Yeah.
You see catchers have to cover a lot of ground, but they kind of block themselves right in front of the dugouts to make sure the ball doesn't roll in. 1-1 to Vogelbach, who has struck out and grounded out.
Yeah, all these screens in front of the dugouts have really helped the overthrows, except where the players enter and exit. 2, maybe 3. Most have just the entrances at the end of the dugouts. Here they have them right in the middle, at least on the Mariners side.
Outside corner, 92 miles an hour. Vogelbach has not been able to pull the trigger on 2 fastballs, and now he's behind in the count 1-2. Margema, he's the on deck hitter. He's a right-handed hitter. Righty and a lefty warming up for Seattle. Reach for that one, just got a piece of it. Astros beat the Rangers 3-2, first of that 3-game series. So the Astros, with their win, are now 10-4. Rangers 4-11 with the loss. Big story in that game, Ray. How about Garrett Cole? Remember Garrett Cole, his first 2 starts, he was great. Struck out 11 in each of the first 2 starts. Today, 14 punch-outs. Wow. So he's got 36 strikeouts in his first 3 innings. He's been great. So the Astros have to be absolutely thrilled with Garrett Cole. How could you not be?
Verlander a full year. Garrett Cole, pretty good rotation.
Again reached for by Vogelbach. As the Rangers lose Elvis Andrus for 6 to 8 weeks, hit by a pitch in the elbow.
Did Odor go on the DL with the hamstring?
Odor's on the DL.
Yeah.
Tough sledding right now for the Rangers.
A's will be there the next road trip. They go to both Houston and Arlington, Texas in the same trip.
So we go there from one city to the other, Dallas to Houston.
With an off day.
Really?
Yeah. What a shock, huh?
Dallas to Houston.
That's the way it's supposed to be. And then come back to Seattle.
Long look by Buchter.
There it is. Oh,
strike 3 called on the inside corner. Vogelbach do it.
Tell you what, Torres, the home plate umpire, is not helping anybody. The hitter and the catcher know, but there's sometimes you look at the pitch and just watch Torres, the home plate umpire. There's a perfectly thrown pitch, and he goes, "Oh, okay." And then he calls it. But they do make a verbal call down there. That's why Vogelbach started walking away. He knew it. Front door slider thrown by Buchter. Umpires don't like us anyway. You know, they don't.
They don't like us?
No, they don't like any of the broadcasters.
Oh, okay.
They don't. They don't want to let anybody know except down there, which is fine. We'll eventually find out about it. Not you personally or me.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's just
Right.
generally speaking, broadcasters.
Well, that's what's great about baseball. You have something to talk about after every pitch. It's the pitch and the ball strike call, location, type of pitch, reason for the pitch. Mike Margema from Roseville, California. A couple years at Sacramento City College. Catching some with Mike Zunino on the disabled list.
I'm sure the Mariners are looking forward to Nelson Cruz coming back, but also Mike Zunino, 20-plus home run hitter as a catcher. Actually, his offense probably caught up with his defense because he's always been a great defensive catcher, but surprisingly, the Mariners would send him down to work on his hitting when he did a great job behind the plate.
Archibald, big swing, and now the count 2-2.
You know what Zunino said tonight? He said they at least allow him to play both sides of the ball. Like in football, offense and defense. Well, he's proven it with the bat now, but right now Margema getting a chance to catch.
Seager, the runner at first, he opened the inning with the single. Little pop up. Olsen over. Olsen with room, and he makes the catch.
Well, that's a big out because it's a right-hander and it allows Buchter to stay in to face Ichiro. And worst thing for a manager to have to bring in a pitcher. He gets the one out. He's got back-to-back lefties, but he gets Vogelbach, but then he gets Margema. So now he's got Ichiro coming up. Went in the skipper's office. He had a bottle of Cabernet from Ichiro, 51. He's got his own brand of vino sent over. Of course, he really enjoys, respects the skipper, Bob Melvin, and so he had the bottle of the Cab. So it was a gift from Ichiro.
So he's a winemaker too.
He's a winemaker. He can do anything he wants. And you know what? He'll make the club next year because the team's going to start the season in Tokyo against the Mariners. So the way the place lit up in 2012 when Ichiro hit, I mean, they did not need to have stadium lights. They had the flash bulbs from all the cameras that were photographs taken of Ichiro, the star in Tokyo.
One, and now 1-2. First time with the Mariners. 2001 was his rookie year. 10-time All-Star, Gold Glove 10 times.
MVP,
what a year it was in 2001.
How about the 262 hits in 2004? Major League record.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Ichiro can't believe it. Buchter with a couple of strikeouts. We're headed to the 7th, 3-2 A's.
and food in left field. Attend every A's regular season game for $29.99 per month for 6 months, or an annual fee of $149.99. That is a deal that you cannot find anyplace else. It includes general admission seating in the outfield sections. Anyone can visit the Treehouse, but if you buy the Treehouse Pass, your pass will only allow you access to this space in left field. And it is a place where it's happening, and it's just going to get better and better. Should be interesting on Tuesday night. The Treehouse.
The Treehouse.
Coliseum. I wonder if that's general admission.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a fun, fun day. Get there early, enjoy the gift to the city. The 50th anniversary game.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Here's Dan Altavilla. Good start for Altavilla, the hard-throwing right-hander, facing Joyce, Simeon, and Lowry. First pitch is up and away. For Mike Leake, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs with 4 strikeouts. So he will not get his 3rd win of the year. It's a good fastball from Altavilla.
And what the A's need to do is add on, because that 1 run, it's hard to get a 12-out save. The A's have 3 now, need 9 more, but they'd also like to get some more offense. A little different type of pitcher in Altavilla than Leake, who was in for the 6 innings.
Right now he's all over the place.
That's the difference in the game right there with Matt Chapman, a solo home run to center field.
Matt Joyce, a single, a walk, and a ground out. That one in first, right? Hitting out of the leadoff spot. And it's a walk. So a good start for the A's as they try to throw on a couple insurance runs.
Mel Stoudemire Jr. to the left of Scott Service, pitching coach, son of the great Mel Stoudemire.
Thrilled that the guy they brought in walked the first hitter, which
That's
it's always a good way to tick off your pitching coach and manager. Another ball, and it's 1-0. Oh for 2 with a walk for Marcus Simeon. Slider there snaps in there first strike.
He's basically a 2-pitch pitcher, or 3 if you add the 2 and 4-seam fastball, but he's pretty much fastball slider. Throws hard, mid-90s with a fastball.
Another good slider, first strike. Altavilla pitched in 15 games 2 years ago. Last year, 41 games at the big league level.
Is that thunder in center field that we're hearing out towards beyond center field, or is that something
Let's
dropping? Something is making a loud noise. Maybe it's the construction in downtown Seattle.
Nice block. Joyce trying for second. The throw is in time. So Matt Joyce, I think he got about 2/3 of the way second base and realized that he had made a mistake. So he was out by a lot. Bargema blocked it, then scrambled after it, and he could see that Joyce was taken off.
Well, that is going on the ball in the dirt, and you're right. It's one of those that the ball came up to Bargema, and he made a strong throw, did a very good job, and ball stayed in front of him, and then very quickly reacted with his mask on, and that really helps your pitcher, in this case Altavilla, to get a big out after the leadoff walk.
And I think sometimes a base runner, strike 3 called, sometimes a base runner, Ray, will read the ball and see that it's in the dirt.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of banking on it rolling away, and it really did not.
It's a low part of the strike zone. Now this is the wild pitch, and then the block, and really a great throw. And Matt Joyce, watch him take the secondary lead, sees the ball in the dirt, takes off, and goes, oh, what am I doing? And then realized there's the ball way ahead of him. But Margman did not panic once the ball was in front of him.
First pitch strike to Lowry down around the knees.
And you know what that did? That all of a sudden helped Altavella, because instead of having the runner at first and 2-2, just threw a ball in the dirt, gets an out, and then gets a strikeout on a fastball.
High pop-up. Segura, the shortstop. Shallow center field. He's got it. Side. Retired. We have reached the 7th inning stretch here at Safeco Field in Seattle. 3-2 A's lead.
It's brought to you by Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Three-two A's lead, bottom of the 7th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Osmero Petit comes in here in the 7th inning. So Buchter goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, a couple of strikeouts. The first pitch to Austin, or make that Andrew Romine. Austin is his brother, catcher for the Yankees. This is Andrew Romine. Saw him with the Tigers for a while now. Romine coming over to the Mariners. Utility guy tonight, playing first base.
The biggest thing last year is when the Yankees and the Tigers had a little bit of a dust up, and he was talking to his brother, and some of the Tigers players didn't like it.
Lowry's got it. Lowry flips to first, and that's out number 1.
Well, for Bob Melvin and Scott Emerson trying to mix and match in this rest of this game. He's got Danny Coulombe low sitting in the bullpen. Petit coming into an inning fresh, not coming in with runners on base, and he had 32 consecutive runners stranded before that ended in one of his first appearances. Bob Melvin, Ryan Christensen, manager, bench coach, trying to get through this game with a 1-run lead right now.
Top of the order in Gordon. First pitch strike. Juan Nicasio is starting to warm up, along with Jason Bradford, a couple of right-handers. Bunted. Chapman scoops it. Chapman's throw is in time. A sensational play by Matt Chapman.
Well, there's a hand up for the Mariners, but well, we saw the bunt in Anaheim. He got him by half step. And Matt Chapman, just unbelievable arm strength to be able to do that while running. And he is fast out of the batter's box, and if he does this 1 or 2 times a game, pretty good chance he's going to get some hits. That time, though, he ran up against Matt Chapman. Was it Simmons in Anaheim that he got thrown on the run? Yeah, it was in the last inning. First and second tried to bunt. Chapman got it. But Matt Chapman is so quick with the first step, kind of anticipating it, playing even in front of the bag anyway. But he had to make a strong throw, perfect throw, to get the speed of Gordon.
1-1 the count to Segura, who chased a pitch that was way out of the strike zone.
But look, just it kind of throws from behind his ear, and Matt Olson able to reach and make the put out at first base.
One and one the count to Segura, who's 1 for 3. Now he's behind in the count.
Now Gordon's got to be thinking, what do I have to do to get a base hit? Maybe bunt it without Matt Chapman at third, but that is a great play, and really it took a great play to get him by half a step. That's how close it was anyway.
Marcus has this one. His throw not in time. So Segura's got an infield hit. He's 2 for 4. Kind of reach for it a little bit.
Now Melvin's got to go to his lefty to try to get out Cano. But just not enough. Segura out of the box, runs well, and easily beats it out.
So Petit gets 2 outs, gives up a hit. And when we come back, Robinson Cano will hit.
Red Sox come to the Coliseum at the beginning of a 3-game series. First 20,000 fans get a Matt Chapman replica Kelly Green jersey. 3 games against the Boston Red Sox starting on Friday, April the 20th. Grab your phone and pop in athletics.com/tickets to grab yours. Today, it is an outstanding jersey. We've shown it a couple of times. Great threads. Chappie's name on the back, number 26. And the way he's playing, maybe one that you're going to wear for a long time.
So Daniel Coulombe comes in. One job, get Robinson Cano. 7th appearance for Coulombe. 7 innings, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts.
Okay, you said it best in Los Angeles that Blake Trinan, of course, he did not pitch in the final game of the series. Didn't pitch actually last Saturday was the last appearance. So he's well rested.
He did not pitch in L.A.
Yeah, Danny Colon can get Cano. We might see Trinan for the last two. Who knows what might happen? Right now, Cano's a big batter. Danny was perfect in Los Angeles, his former team. Faced 6 batters, all 6 outs.
Cano has singled and walked twice, so the A's have yet to retire Robinson Cano.
Well, these are the kind of at-bats for Robinson Cano that are dangerous because he can do so many things with a pitch. And
he's tough to fool.
Yeah.
Not going to get him to chase. Yeah. Chris Hatcher starting to throw. Cano's been an all-star 8 times. Got a couple of Gold Gloves.
And this is a pitch you might try to ambush. Look for a fastball 2-0.
And it's low, so now it's 3-0. Mitch Haniger is the on-deck hitter. I wouldn't lay this one in there either, right?
You know, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe cutter something just to put a little spin on it. Because if it's a true 4-seam fastball, I agree with you. You may be swinging.
Spotted pretty well toward the outside corner. 3-1. So a good tight ball game tonight here in Seattle. Both teams scored a couple of runs in the very first inning. And Matt Chapman's solo home run in the 6th is the difference so far.
Reminder, those signs that Bob Melvin's going through would be to the catcher for the pitcher to throw to first, not calling pitches. It's up to Jonathan Lucroy to do that.
3-1 pitch, and Cano had a good rip at it.
Well, you know, Kev, I think the best thing that happened here is the ball stayed inside. Because he likes to go out and rake the ball on the outside and pull it to right field. So decision time. You don't want to give in for sure.
Three and two. Segura, excuse me, the runner at first will go. And here's the pitch, and he missed outside. And that's it. So Daniel Colon cannot get Robinson Cano, so he's done for the night. We'll take a break. So Hatcher's coming in to face Haniger with the game on the line.
By authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So a big moment in the game. The Mariners with a little 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A's clinging to a 3-2 lead, and it's going to be Chris Hatcher to face Mitch Haniger. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. So Hatcher's 6th appearance. And he is pitcher number 5 tonight, the 3rd pitcher in this inning for the A's. Pitch is a little bit inside. Haniger an RBI single in the 1st, a pop out in the 3rd, and a ground out in the 5th. Missed again, 2-0. Oh, when Nelson Cruz comes back, obviously you drop him into the cleanup spot. Haniger drops down a little bit.
Yeah.
Really extends the Mariners lineup, which when everybody's in there, it's a pretty good lineup. Two 2-0 the count.
And Haniger, if it's anything like he is in the 1st inning, he will load up on this pitch and be ready to attack.
Strike. Pitch right in the corner.
Yeah. Most hitters in this situation like to extend their arms, but Hatcher able to pitch and throw this pitch towards the inner part of the plate, right on the inside corner. And the hitter's thinking about extending his arms. That would not have been a good one to do it.
Strike 2. Same spot, 96 miles an hour. So he's crowding Haniger a little bit.
A hitting coach in the Mariners dugout by the name of Edgar Martinez. He loved that pitch.
Yeah, he wouldn't have taken either.
He
of
could have pulled his hands in so effectively in those 2 pitches and shot a ball to right center.
Foul straight back. That one a little bit more of a hitter's pitch than the first 2. Well, it feels like the 9th inning, but it's only the 7th. Looking good.
Well, there are only 3 starters. Triggs is in the clubhouse, and those are the only 3 remaining out on the bench that we just showed. Manaea, Mingden, and Graveman. 2 will pitch the remainder of the series. Mingden pitched on Wednesday.
Not a bad time to have a meeting.
Well, and Lucroy put up his hand and said, "Teacher, may I go to the mound?" because Hatcher called him out. They need to get on the same page. And yes, a critical time. Bob Melvin's not opposed to a visit here. And
he's got 4 left.
That's fine. Let's see if he even gives a sign. Nope. He's just saying, here it is.
Hit well to left field. Joyce is back, and it is gone.
You know what I'm thinking now? If Hatcher was shaking, I wonder if Lucroy was calling something else, and he called him out to discuss it and decided to go with what the pitcher wanted to throw. Because this is the same fastball that he took twice, brought the hands in, and did not miss it. See, Lucroy wanted it outside. It came back to the inner part of the plate, and a no-doubter.
So mislocation.
Yep.
And that one hurt. A 2-out rally by the Mariners.
Yep. And you think about the great play that Chapman made on the bunt is now really immaterial. Don't even think about it that much. Infield hit with 2 strikes, 2 outs, a walk on a 3-2 pitch, and a 3-run home run on a 2-2 pitch.
So Haniger with 4 RBIs tonight, giving him 12 on the year. That was his 3rd home run. And now it's 2-1.
I wish Cruz had come back.
So 2-1 the count to Kyle Seager. He's 2 for 3. And he rolls that one just fouled on the 3rd baseline. Shift on, nobody there for the A's. Seager checking the end of his bat, so he really hit it. See how he's got that end cupped out.
Well, for Bob Melvin, at least it is just the 7th inning. He's got 6 more outs to try to come back. If it was the 9th, game over.
Pop up. This one will head back over to our left. It's got to be tough for a pitcher to get your composure back and get your team back in the dugout.
Unfortunately, also, Cap, it was against the Rangers. He gave up the home run to Chu, which gave the insurance runs for the Rangers to end the homestand. And a big one tonight.
Full count with Seager in the batter's box. Took a little off, 86 miles an hour. Took a lot off, actually. So Hatcher rubs up a new baseball. And there's a base hit to left field. Now Seager with a pretty good at bat. He has his 3rd hit.
There's a look right called fastball in, fastball away, splitter, and then a slider that didn't slide. Almost ran away like a fastball. That was a good at bat. Going opposite field with the gap or the shift. Look at, there's your 2-strike approach. Outside hitters, smart hitters are going to do that versus trying to pull the outside pitch into the shift. Not that that could have been caught in a regular defensive alignment.
And that one is belted to right. Piscotty's back, and it is gone. Daniel Vogelbach, a 2-run homer, 7-3 Seattle.
I think he was setting first pitch fastball. He got it, didn't miss it. It was gone. That's the big boy.
So for Vogelbach, his first home run of the year. So that's too many, obviously. 9 home runs allowed. Just checking, Ray, for Vogelbach. Yeah, that's his first major league home run.
Yeah.
So a moment to remember for that youngster. Maybe a moment to forget for the A's.
Yeah, exactly.
So 5 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
All with 2 outs.
Chapman has it. On to first side, retired. So a 3-run homer and a 2-run homer. Just like that, the Mariners have taken the lead. It's 7-3.
Jonathan Lucroy and Mitch Haniger got the fastball in that he took twice, and I don't think it was supposed to be there, but Haniger didn't miss it. A 2-strike, 3-run home run. Vogelbach would add a 2-run shot, top of the 8th inning. All of a sudden, the A's 3-2 lead. They trail by 4, 7-3 in the top of the 8th inning.
So now work to do for the A's, down 7-3, and they will face Juan Nicasio. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Nicasio signed to a pretty nice contract, a 2-year, $17 million deal by the Mariners, and he was signed to be their setup man. They've got a good closer in Diaz. They needed a setup man, and Nicasio is the guy. New left fielder is Guillermo Heredia. So Davis leading things off, and he hits a high pop-up foul.
Do you ever remember that Ichiro Suzuki was taken out for defense?
That's a good call. No, to answer your question.
And I don't think he moved to right field.
He did not. Davis a homer in the first. It's funny, Juan Nicasio, I mean, he bounced around. He was with the Rockies, starter at first. See Hendrickson, Casilla in the A's bullpen. Never really stood out a whole lot. He went over to the National League, but last year it all came together for him. D. Gordon goes back. D. Gordon at the wall, and that baby's gone. 2-homer game for Chris Davis, 7-4.
That's a half a swing, okay? That wasn't even a full swing from Chris Davis. Wow. That's how big the second home run of the inning by Vogelbach was, because down by 2 at least with a couple of innings remaining. But look at that. That's just a that's not even a full swing, and he still hit it out. Just all upper body for Chris Davis to hit his 4th, second of the game, and straightaway center field.
So here's Matt Olson. So 3 home runs tonight for the A's. All of their runs coming on home runs. And now for Davis, he's got 4 on the year. We'll go 2 to Matt Olson. Olson 0 for 3. The A's now with 18 home runs hit on the year in 14 games. So pretty good pace if you're into that kind of stuff. New hairdo for Chris Davis.
Yes, he put it back in cornrows. Whatever you want to do, big boy, because the way you can hit, do whatever you want to do. Home run on Wednesday, right center. Home run tonight, right center, center field.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out on a high fastball.
For StatCast and for Chris Davis, straightaway center. 24-degree launch angle. 104 miles per hour off his bat. 412 feet straightaway center field. And a half swing.
So here's Matt Chapman, who homered. That was in the 6th inning. He also has a single. Matt Chapman's batting average now at .365. And 19 hits in 52 at bats. Missed that one. Just rearing back 93 miles an hour, but it must have a little late life to it.
Well, this is a big one. Matt Chapman to a little bit left of center against Mike Leake. Leake left the game trailing by a run. Now the Mariners leading.
Lucroy will be next. For hit right at Haniger. Grabs it. So 2 away here in the 8th inning. Red Sox won again. They beat Baltimore 7-3. We mentioned that earlier. They're now 11-2. Yankees beat the Tigers 8-6 in Detroit. So the Yankees get back to 500 at 7-7. And Toronto won again 8-4. They beat Cleveland. 8-4 they beat Cleveland.
Bad news there. Josh Donaldson on the disabled list. Shoulder inflammation. That's not good either, because I mean, I say that because Josh is not like he's 22, 23, and he's probably looking for a free agent contract. That just wonder, with the market being the way it was last winter and players starting to get 30 plus, do they get the big contracts anymore? Just wonder if that's going to happen.
Blue Jays now 9-5, so they're playing well, but they're going to need Donaldson.
You know what, Kite? Maybe some more guys take the qualifying offer. That's a pretty good raise in itself.
I think
17, 18 million.
No question. Yeah. Lucroy did not swing. Yeah, the qualifying offer this year was 17 million, and I think there's some guys who wish they would have taken it.
That's right. It's a swing that Jonathan kind of fell, and he's leaving the bat out for Kerwin Dannon to say, hey, Kerwin, I did not swing. And I'll compliment you tomorrow night if I'm behind the plate and you're there too. We'll see what happens with tomorrow night's lineup. Probably would be Lucroy tomorrow night. Gonzalez is pitching the left-hander. Felix Hernandez on Sunday, series finale.
just missed, took a little off, 87 miles an hour. Mariners closer, Edwin Diaz. We've seen it for a couple years now, but people around here are saying he's pitching much better than he's pitched the last couple years, and he's been pretty good the last couple years.
Yeah, they said he's throwing hard and missing bats. for an offense trying to hit against him, that's not a good combination.
A little bit outside. Torres said nope. Take a look.
And Nicasio thought it was strike 3.
It's close.
95 walking to the dugout.
So the payoff pitch, here it is, and it's hit foul again down the right field line as they're keeping it away from Lucroy. And
Luke didn't want to take
a couple good pitches.
He didn't want to take a chance on that. He said a better swing. May not get the call again. There's the big man in the middle, Edwin Diaz. It stands right now, safe situation.
Another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Another spoiled job by Lucroy. I guess my point is you'd like to get it a little bit closer before Diaz comes in.
Yeah.
The way he has been pitching. This will be pitch number 9 in this at bat. It's popped into right center. Cano backpedaling, but he's called off by Haniger. Side retired. Chris Davis with a home run, his second in the game, a solo shot. So gets the A's a little bit closer. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 7-4 Mariners lead. It's 4-8-0 for the A's, 7-10-1 for the Mariners. Of course, the thing that jumps out is the 5 spot in the bottom of the 7th inning, and what makes it even more frustrating is all 5 runs came with 2 outs. Yeah. The A's bullpen just could not get the 3rd out in that inning, and the Mariners took advantage of a 3-run homer and a 2-run homer. So that is obviously the difference in this game. A's will get one more shot. So to the bullpen for the Athletics, it's Liam Hendricks. So Hendricks making his 6th appearance, and he is the 6th pitcher of the night for the A's. Triggs, Buchter, Petit, Coulombe, Hatcher, and now Hendricks. Of course, the A's a couple of off days this week, so bullpen should be fairly well rested.
You know, Cap, I just wonder about the off days, how it's going to affect the players, the pitchers this year. And it remains to be seen, don't know for sure, but it just seemed like Andrew Triggs was not himself in the first inning. It was not that sharp. And I mean, you pitch on Saturday, you don't pitch again until Friday. You know, there's your extra day already in a 5-man rotation, or 4 actually for the A's because of the off days. Or it could just be a pitcher pitches great one night and then goes back out the next start, given the extra day rest, and just not the same.
And it should be noted too that the 4 extra days off during the season, which is part of the new CBA agreement, so you got to start your season 4 days sooner, and so 4 off days are added at different points in the season. It's very much what the players wanted.
Exactly, absolutely. And then you count the 4-day All-Star break. So essentially, on the season this year, a 6-month season, there are 24 off days, counting the All-Star break. That's a lot of off days.
Three and 1 the count to Guillermo Heredia, his first hit back. He bounces one into center field for a base hit. Heredia with very good speed. So he's aboard.
Right over the mound, and the fastball from Liam Hendricks, which he has good velocity, but there's the hole up the middle, and even falling square to the plate, finishing straight, just was not going to make it anyway. Just too good of a hit by Heredia.
So that's 11 hits for the Mariners. There's Romine for his 4th at bat. He's 0 for 3. We talked about it being a little bit cold here, and it is. The White Sox and the Twins were supposed to play in Minnesota, and it is brutal weather in Minneapolis.
What's it like, Kate?
35 degrees and snowing today, so they postponed that game quickly. The problem is it's supposed to be that way the entire weekend. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 30 in snow. Sunday, 28 in snow, and that's a high of 30 and a high of 28. There's a very, very, very good chance that they will not play any baseball this weekend in Minneapolis.
But you know, the key to that series, and they're going to take a look. Jeff Collins, along with the skipper, going out to see what's the matter with Liam Hendricks. But with the White Sox and the Twins playing, then at least they play within the division.
Yeah, that
and
helps
they're
a little
going
bit.
to play a lot. The Mariners have to go back. I think Rick Riss says like May the 14th or something. There's a game.
So they lost a game in Minnesota.
Yeah. So they're, you know, they only make one trip. So there's no chance to do a day night or make it up. They have to do a makeup with a day. And
yeah, they missed Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
Yeah.
Huh.
So Liam Hendricks is out, and that means somebody gets to come in and take as long as they want to.
But you're talking about 3 games, you know, so
yeah, it's true.
It's you're going to have a couple doubleheaders. So with Hendricks out, Casillas coming in, and as Ray said, he'll have plenty of time. We'll be back tomorrow for Game 2 of this 3-game series. Kendall Graveman and Marco Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a lefty. Coverage begins at 5:30 with A's pregame live. You can now stream the A's on the go with NBCSportsCalifornia.com and the NBC Sports app. So that'll be Game 2 of the series. Hour earlier, Graveman. A's trying to get Graveman on track. So this is Liam Hendriks. First pitch, and watch him. He shakes his leg a little bit. Shake it out.
And stretching a little bit more once he got on the mound, and this is the pitch. And when he started stretching, Lucroy said, hold on. Talked to the skipper, looking in the dugout, and then he looks back out. And that's when it was time.
So Casilla in, he's ready to go. Remember, the count is 2-0 on Andrew Romine. Casilla has pitched pretty well in the first 3 games. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw. Got him. So good throw by Lucroy on a very close play. Heredia is staying at second base because he's convinced he's safe.
You know, Luke, I don't think knew he was going left-handed batter, so he really see how he was almost a delay, and if his front leg was up, let's see if it's up. I think
he's out.
Yeah, it slid into the leg of. We're going to take a look at it. But it looked like he slid in the leg of Jed Lowry. But you see the delay kind of with Jonathan Lucroy. You know, you ask for help with a left-handed hitter. You ask the dugout, let me know, and but the way he came out is as if he was surprised. Made a strong throw, bang bang, but remarkably he made the throw he made. See, he takes off. Watch Jonathan, and then he looks and sees it, but that's as perfect throw as you're going to make. And that shot looked like he got him. This shot, check the left knee with Heredia coming in. See the knee? Did he block him off the bag?
I think he's out.
Yeah.
Because right when Marcus caught the ball, he just kind of held the glove and tagged the leg of Heredia. And at least from that shot, it did not look like Heredia had quite got to the bag yet. It's kind of the shot from behind Heredia.
You know, and again, let's remind the listeners that what these guys are doing, they're looking. There's a crew chief, Kerwin Danley, looking at the diamond vision, the message board, and they're seeing all this and kind of looking, but they don't make the decision. It's New York that's seeing this shot right here.
See, right there, the tag is made.
Yeah, and his knee is blocking the runner off the bag.
And the call was out.
Yeah, and that's probably the deciding factor, because if it's not, he's out. Yeah, there's really nothing that you could definitively say you could overturn it.
He was more out than safe.
Exactly. Jonathan Lucroy with another caught stealing.
6 out of 10. That's very, very good.
But that's where, I mean, it's dangerous with a runner sliding feet first. But if you put your knee down, and if he slides head first, I mean, middle infielder needs to know who slides head first, who slides feet first, because you don't want the cleats going in your knee. But good job at Jed Lowry to at least deflect the foot off the bag of Heredia going into second.
2-2 now to Andrew Romine.
But if there's ever a time to challenge a play, it's the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yep.
You know, you got the 9th inning, and he lost the challenge because it was upheld.
Yeah, I don't think challenges are going to buy you anything.
No.
Either are mound visits if they're in your pocket when you leave the ballpark.
That's a good one. You hit out and say, how many you got left? I got 4.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with them? Start tomorrow with 6.
Yeah. Get you a donut and a cup of coffee in the morning, maybe. But don't count on it.
Yeah, well, don't try to use those mound visits to get the cup of coffee, though.
Fastball outside, 93 miles an hour. So 3-2 the count to Romine. D. Gordon waits in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch, here it is. And it's in the dirt. Romine swings at it. Luke Croy has to hustle and throw on the run to get him at first.
Hey, Luke's had one heck of a game tonight. Another block, and then a 2-3 on the putout. And this time it wasn't an easy one because the ball kicked up the first baseline. And as soon as he swung at it, Romine knew he swung a ball 4, and Luke had to go after it. Olsen had to keep his foot on the bag. Pretty good chance that if you swing at a pitch, you know it's in the dirt, you better start running because it's going to have to be blocked by the catcher.
And not an easy play, right?
No.
You're running, you got gear on.
Yeah.
You have to reach down and pick the ball up barehanded. And then you got to make he kind of cleared a little bit too to make it a little bit easier throw to the outside of the bag, but put that all together, that is not an easy play. Because running in shin guards, I'm sure, is great.
Well, you know, I remember some coaches would tell me to run laps with this equipment on just to get used to it. I'm going, wait a minute. The most I'm going to run is backing up first.
Yeah.
And now you're going to ask me to run laps in catching gear?
That's a terrible idea. You're right.
Well, it's like.
It really is.
Well, you got one loosening for an extra lead. It's Vincent, and then you got Diaz, the closer, if it stays at 3.
1 now to D. Gordon. Gordon is 1 for 4 with a double.
How about this guy? If I was in Fort Benning, Georgia, running a mile in combat boots. That's not fun either.
Well, no, but you couldn't say no to that.
Oh, no. I'd rather do that instead of taking the punishment for saying no.
So 7 pitchers used now by the Athletics. The only relievers that have not been used, Pagan and Trinan. Hendricks left with a little bit of an injury. Chapman's got it on 1 hop. Quick throw to first side, retired. Last chance for the A's as we head to the top of the 9th. To Scotty to lead it off, 7-4 Seattle.
Four dealers. What a night for Chris Davis again. This ball to right center field off of Mike Leake. A 2-run shot first inning. The A's with the lead, and then kind of a half swing against Nicasio, straightaway center. Second home run of this game, and it's been a night for Chris Davis, and perhaps, as we mentioned on open, You get him going, you never know what he can do, and he's proven that tonight.
So the A's in the top of the ninth will send Piscotty, Smolinski, but Smolinski looks like he's going to be pinch hit for by Maxwell. And then Matt Joyce against Edwin Diaz, and the first pitch in for a strike, 96 miles an hour with some movement.
Well, he's basically a 2-pitch or 3-pitch pitcher, 2 and 4 seam fastball, 96 and 99 with a slider, and just rear back and let it go like that.
Yeah, he does not mess around. His first 2 years, Diaz as the closer, he's been good, but at times a little erratic.
Yeah, we've seen games where he's come in and walked the ballpark.
If he can just tighten it up, he has a chance to be a star. Last year he had 34 saves.
Piscotty, no swing, as Kerwin Danley noted.
1 and 2. Piscotty 2 for 3, couple of singles. Just missed off the plate. That's that tight slider. He's throwing it at 89, 90 miles an hour. Two pitches a little low, 97. So now it's 3 and 2. Diaz, tall, slender, 6'3", 165 pounds. He's turned 24 years old during spring training. Off the hands. That's Cano. Away.
That was ball 4. But it's kind of hard not to swing at a pitch that's coming at you at 99 miles per hour.
So here's Maxwell, who is going to hit for Smolinski. Maxwell is the only left-handed hitter on the bench. So Bob Melvin wants to get a lefty in there against Diaz. First pitch, outside corner at 97. And it's quickly 0-2, so Diaz jumps ahead in the count. Two pitch, foul down the left field line, a fastball again. So Maxwell trying to do anything to get on base. Lays off that one, 99. Again. Have an interesting shift on. It's not really a full shift, but Cano is playing out in shallow right field. Seager slid over a little bit, so is Segura.
Do you think Max was going to pull a 99? You know, he's waiting. He's protected with 2 strikes, and Heredia in left field is playing him almost on the line. And if you position Heredia now where Ichiro started the game, Ichiro was in front of the A's bullpen. That's so far over.
Just a touch low. So from 0-2 to 3-2.
It was last May the 25th when he walked 4 in a game. Walked the bases loaded, and then walked Jed Lowry with the bases loaded. Tony Zick had to come in and save the game.
Bounced foul. 6:35 first pitch. Make that 6:05, excuse me, first pitch tomorrow night. Graveman and Gonzalez. Swing and miss, struck him out. High octane at 97 miles an hour. So 2 outs.
Well, they just reared back and threw it hard right down the middle.
So here is Matt Joyce for his 5th at bat. A couple of walks and a single for Joyce. He's 1 for 2. So he's done his part in the leadoff spot. Got on base 3 times. Fastball, not close. Shift is on for Joyce. Altavilla is the pitcher of record right now for Seattle.
Unfortunately, correct me if I'm wrong, if Danny Coulombe's walk was a difference.
That's right. Segura had the single. Yeah, you're right. That's right. That was the 4th run.
So Petit gave up the infield hit, and then Coulombe came in, and the rest is history.
3-0 now to Matt Joyce. Simeon would be next. Not close. So he's missing in the same spot, up and away to a left-handed hitter.
And that last one was an aim. He just aimed it and did not finish.
So Marcus Simeon steps in, hoping to get Jed Lowry in at bat.
And when Lowry comes up, you're going to say about Chris Davis getting to bat.
Keep saying. Same thing inside this time.
Same location.
The place is running in the same location. Just for Simeon, he's a right-handed hitter, so it's up and in. So you go to a little slider and it drops in for a strike. That's not a bad idea.
It's the best thing to do. Outside slider, throw for a strike, figuring if hitter's going to be taking, and Simeon should be. Not now, though.
Right to Cano. Scoops it up, and that's the ball game. So a disappointing night for the Athletics as the Mariners score 5 times in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that is the difference in this game. So it took 3 hours and 8 minutes in front of 25,352. Game 1 of the series goes to the Seattle Mariners as they defeat the Athletics by a final score of 7-4. A's are now 5-9 on the year. Up next, it's A's Postgame Live.